Hi everyone, Kama Uscalo Dlamini, and this is Ringa Diski with me, Uscalo Dlamini. Welcome back. This is second episode of the second season, and yeah, man. So almost all the leagues are starting up now. We started the EPL league last weekend, and yeah, what a great start to the EPL league, man. I think, yeah, man. I think it was what we were expecting. But yeah, some teams delivered more than what we expected, and some teams just continued from where they left off. But before we go into that, I would like to take this moment and give shout outs, give props to Banyana of it. I think Banyana for the past couple of months or past couple of years, they've been just doing great. You know, with all the politics that go on around women football, but Banyana on the field, on the day, in tournaments about Lalayo, they just dominate, especially COSAFA. I think COSAFA, yeah, but they just been winning in COSAFA year in, year out for the past couple of years. They did well go World Cup, but yeah, I think we would have liked to see them going a bit further. And I know Guti, there's a lot of politics that happen around women football in South Africa, and I hope those get sorted out of it. I think women football deserve better than what is being offered right now, better than what they've been given. And yeah, man, I hope the powers that be and whoever is running and some administrators that are involved in that would just do better for Banyana of it. So I really wish to see something better. And yeah, I think we've been waiting for a league, and they keep on postponing the kickoff of that women's league, which is crazy. How do you just push on a league and push on a league, and this is not like a league yasekasi. This is not like a league that is just being played by five-a-side. This isn't a league, women's league. This is something that we need. This is something that the ladies have fought for. They deserve it. So Safa and whoever else is involved, please guys, let's make sure that league kicks off. And yeah, we get to see women's football week in, week out. Based on what I've seen go World Cup and based off the little that I've seen go COSAFA, I think that league could be entertaining, man. I think it's about time that we get something going, and yeah, it'll be a fresh look at the football that we get to see women's football week in, week out. And sekelele talk about compare with their male counterparts, or this thing of only seeing them once after 3 months and then we're saying they're not doing well, but what do they do in between the games that they play, and we only see them on national team only, so yeah, whoever is in charge of that, please let's make sure that league gets kicked off of it too, and we get to see women shining, man. I think, yeah, as I said, they deserve to, they've been doing well, so let's give them what they need, let's give them what they deserve. So before I get into some of the highlights or some of the games that I watched over the weekend, guys, I want to give a big shout out to LUCASRADEBE, guys. I don't think we understand we grasp the worth of that guy, or the LUCASRADEBE and what impact he made Leeds, guys. So I think most of us is bonile the tweet of the guy was saying he's just his newborn son, and he gave him that son LUCASRADEBE. In fact, he gave the name Lucas because of LUCASRADEBE and because of what Lucas did when he was playing at Leeds. And imagine, and then after that there were guys coming out. I think I read about 5-6 tweets of people saying, this is my son, he's named after the great LUCASRADEBE, this is my son, named, like, people were just coming out with how appreciative they are of their captain LUCASRADEBE. And I don't think we value that much like South Africa, like, think about it, how many people do you know, or how many soccer stars do you know played here at home, played away, that you would name your son after, or you'd name your girl child after them, your daughter? How many? Think about it. How many? We know, for example, there's a lot of guys but for a different reason, right? Either they are good at Ebola, and for something else that I won't mention. If you'd know what I mean. But LUCASRADEBE just made a huge impact that Abantu base Leeds appreciate him that much. I remember, I think it was last year when I read a story or saw a video of them opening up a bar after him. So he's a big name. So I hope we appreciate him as much as Abantu Baselites appreciate him. I really hope so. But besides him, man, any other soccer legend, would you name your son Doctor? Would you name your daughter Portia? Would you name your daughter Ocasta, for example? Would you do that just to appreciate a sports star, someone that has made a huge impact in life in Eako, or in the life, in your sporting sort of appreciation of Ilokoza, of sports? Would you do that? Think about it. Because I also got to watch this series, I think it's called, on Netflix, and we were calling Sunderland. Sunderland, the team as England, and just besides whatever that was happening around the team, the love of the team that the people had. Would you have a tattoo of Orlando Pirates, for example? Would you tattoo, let's say, the 1995 squad on your back, for example? Would you tattoo the Teka Inkwashu team, your Chiefs, on your body? Would you do that, to show the love and appreciation that you have for your team? Would you do that? And yet we say we love our teams, but I'm not saying good people don't love their teams. I know there's people who paint their walls. There's a guy on my street who's a Pirates fan, and he has a huge patch of Pirates on his wall. I wonder, would we put that sign on our bodies? Would we, put the Sundowns team that won the CAF Champions League recently? Would you put that team, even just their names, on your body as a tattoo? Would you do that? Anyway, so I guess we love our teams or love our sports differently. So yeah, we can't judge on how we show appreciation. I'm not gonna judge on that, but I don't think, personally, I would do it. For example, I don't even own a jersey like the team that I support or the teams that I support. Would I love to? Yeah, I would love to, but only the teams outside this country. And for personal reasons, I would not buy Skippers Chiefs. That's something else. I'll tell you guys one day about it when we talk about it and we discuss some things that happen in and around the Bola Ekas, and I'll tell you why I would not buy each Hazle Chiefs, right? But besides that, let's go back to some of the highlights. I guess from the recent to the oldest one. So I would not be forgiven if I don't mention some names. So Denver, big up to Manchester United, my man. Your team did very well and humiliated Chelsea, humiliated my Blues. So yeah, man, big up to you, Denver, to Neo, to Abu Tyren, to Abu Linda, to everyone who I know is a huge Manchester United fan. I say you guys, your team did very well. I think I enjoyed that game. I think Chelsea did well in the first 10, 20 to even like 30 minutes of the game. We lost it somewhere, and yeah, man, listening to the pundits Bakulum afterwards, I think they made a lot of sense when you talk about how Chelsea was defending. Chelsea, if you compare it to a boxer, this is the boxers who want to punch and they don't block. I think that's the only way I can explain it. Boxers will punch, but they don't want to block. And if you don't block, you're going to just take punches. And we took sucker punches, man. In Manchester United just sucker punched us with a couple of, counter attacks. But they deserve that win. It's just that 4 was just too humiliating. So yeah, Denver, mentioned it, my guy. Please, let's move on, huh? Let's move on, my guy. And then there was the 5-0, man. The 5-0 Manchester City. There was the 4, I think it was 4-1 Liverpool, man. I think the big teams did, as I said, they just continued from where they left off. You'd think Man City also never took a break. You'd think Liverpool also never took a break. You'd think Osala never took a break, man, and he came to play go AFCON, and he was still continuing and scoring goals, creating for his team. And yeah, man, it's good to see Liverpool continuing where they left off. I think they will do well as well now to fight for this league. I think it's high time they win it, because this would be the third season they're running for it, or they really challenging for it. And as for Man City, I don't know, man. Man City is insane. When Mourinho, I read somewhere when Mourinho says Uguti, the only teams that would be close to winning the league this season would be a Manchester City, Liverpool, the Manchester City B team. That is insane, because if you look at the bench now, it's talent all the way, man. And yeah, man, also good to see Arsenal kicking off with the win. So Jan L, yeah, I see your team is also just making sure they never lose the pace, because the one thing in APL is that if you're off the pace, man, if you don't start very well, it's difficult to catch up. As it is, for example, Chelsea is 3 points behind all the guys on the top 4, and that 3 points is huge. If you look at how City, for example, won the league, they won the league last season with 1 point, sorry, and yeah, so that 3 points is huge. It's a huge gap, So yeah, hopefully Chelsea catches up some time during the season. And yeah, as I said, I saw the big guys scoring. Salah scoring, Kane was scoring, Aubameyang was scoring, Rashford is scoring, Sterling is scoring, Aguero is scoring. So good to see those guys starting up, and let's see how many goals they can, get. And maybe we'll get like 26, 27 for Golden Boot this year. And yeah, hopefully, yeah, we'll see high scoring games. If we bring it home a bit, wow, man, did you guys see the BLOEMCELTIC? BLOEMCELTIC beats Arrows 5-0, man. What? In the PSL, you don't often get the 5 goals, man. It was insane. It was crazy. They scored the first goal, I think, within the first 30 seconds of the game, and already BLOEMCELTIC was they've taken the lead, and Mabena with the strike, and they just kept on scoring, man. They was just scoring, and Arrows, as much as Arrows was playing, because it's not like what Celtic was on their own, Arrows was playing, but they just couldn't recover, man. It was too late for them to recover, and to see that in the domestic league, that was a good start, man. That was a good game to watch, because we watch soccer for the goals, we watch soccer for the entertainment, and we watch soccer for the tactics and whatnot. But at the end of the day, we want to see goals, and to see a 5-goal thriller, that was awesome, man. So big up to Celtic for that. And on that game as well, what's your guys' take on Steve going to celebrate with the fans of Celtic after the game? After the scoreline, or after the losing anyway. What's your take on that? Do you think Uguti, as a Narrows fan, you would appreciate your coach Ahamba celebrator with the team that just humiliated you 5-0, and also on the other side, do you think he should have declined? Because one thing about some fans at Celtic is that they show love. I think the one thing they were just showing to him was love, and yeah, they were just showing him appreciation. They remember him during his days with them, and they did the same, or they always do the same with Magmayambela, So what's your take on that? Do you think it was a good thing for him to do, or would you then take it as a negative if you're an Arrows fan? Then I got to watch the Chiefs. I'm not going to repeat Ngomato, guys. I told you, once Ngomato is on form, that's good for the Chiefs, good for the national team. There's one thing though I wanted to point out in the game Chiefs is that I did not understand FS11 Yabo and playing with 3 out and out strikers. I think that formation is like fishing with dynamite for me. I think it shows Guti Midendorp is a bit desperate, and he is pushing, man. Is pushing for wins, and it's a good thing to wanna score goals early in the season. But to have all your 3 strikers and to Parker, because Parker is a striker. If you know Parker is a striker. So if you look at that lineup, it was 4 guys who you would consider strikers, and the 3 guys who are out and out strikers. And it's not like you playing a 4-3-3 where you'll have 2 guys who play in the wings or come from the side who are quick, who are fast, because Castro is not quick, and the number 9 also Nozovic I think, or Nuzovic or Nozakovic is not as quick, you know. So I'm gonna get used to his name. He's not as quick, but he's a good player, you know. Just to mention that he's a good player, and that Zambian kid as well. It's gonna take time for him to get his scoring boots going, but he looks to be a great sort of, you know, prospect for the Chiefs. Yeah, man. Then we couldn't watch the Pirates and the Sundowns game because they were playing away, but good for Sundowns to get an away goal. Good for Pirates as well to make sure they don't concede more than one goal, because one goal away is not bad. You know, you come back, consolidate, you score a goal, you score two, you go to the next round. You know, it was surprising, I'm not gonna lie, to the TX Galaxy to play their first continental competition, and they won their game. Surprising, but it's a good thing. You know, it's a good thing. It's not like they just given up and they don't want to try like other teams who decided or said at the start of the season they're not gonna use all their resources chasing the continental glory, you know, because it's too expensive and all of that. And also big up to EP Pulkwana City. I watched Pulkwana City and versus Amazulu. It was sad to see Amazulu conceding a goal at the last moment, like last minute, but it was a great goal. I think that was a great goal. There was a goals you want to see with PSL where the strikers are composed enough to place the ball, to, you know, to make sure I can just chest trap to the next player who's running on, and that player can just finish up. So yeah, man. And Pulkwana City is my best player ever, Uchabu. I think Uchabu Malulega is one of the top players in the PSL, and it's said that now is aging and soon we'll see him retire. And what can we do, man? Players come and go, but he's one of the greats for me. And Cape Town City, the Stellenbosch derby, was a great game to watch. Penny is too passionate, guys. Penny is insane passionate about his team, and it shows in how he celebrates a goal, how he pushes his players, when you foul his players, how he just reacts and all of that. But it was good. It was a good game to watch as well. I think Stellenbosch, if they're not careful, they might find themselves in a zone where they don't want to be. You know, I think it would be a good thing for them to pick up a couple of 3 points there and there. You know, just stay away from the relegation zone. It's difficult to come out of that zone, you know, but it's not bad. So it's a lose and a draw for them. So it's not that bad. They might not have a point now, but they can pick up points. You know, I think if they focus on their home games, you know, if I remember very well when Ajax was relegated, they were not good at home, they were not good away. So if that's the case, you're not gonna survive. You're not gonna, you know, you're just gonna keep on losing games and you're just gonna get relegated. So to Stellenbosch, just make sure you win your home games, and there's no shame in going out and playing for a draw. There's no shame in that, you know. Yeah, so that is the quick, you know, sort of going back and looking at some of the games that were out there, some of the matches that I did get to watch. So thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. As I always ask you guys, please subscribe. Please share the videos when you see them posted on Facebook, on Twitter. If you're looking for me on Twitter, it's Uscelo Dlamini. At Mpagafi, you'll find me at that. If you're looking for me on Facebook, it's Celo Sibalkulu Dlamini. You'll find me there. If you're looking for me on Instagram, it's Celo Dlamini. You'll find me there. And yeah, man, look for me go YouTube and look for Ringa Diski. Look for Uscelo Dlamini, and just keep on sharing, keep on subscribing, and salute to you guys. I really appreciate and enjoy talking to you. See you on the next episode. Cheers.